Okay, my name is Gabriel, and this place is called Nania Piokworo Slave Camp. Nania is the name of the community, meaning place of cattle. Cattle raiding was the main job of the community, so they named their community after their job. And Piokworo Slave Camp was also established here for capturing people around this area into slavery. The Piokworo came from the natives, which means place surrounded by rocks. That is in our local dialect, Kasim. Piokworo, a place surrounded by rocks,
So a rocky area.
a rocky area. This place was established as a slave camp from the year 1704. It was established by three African slave raiders. Their names were Babatu Zato, Samuri Ture, and then Bagao. They came here in search of human beings to capture and sell to the Europeans at the coast. So earlier when they came, they were not selling land to people around here. So they decided to follow the norms of the community. The norms was that you need to beg the elders, the landowners, where they will be given or you will be given the opportunity to stay. And once you are given the opportunity, you will then own the place as yours forever. So the captives who were from this area were never slaves until they were taken to the castle and then to Europe, where they were forcibly used to work on certain products. Once the captives were here, they were not happy of their stay because the three African slave masters who started the trade here were trying to capture people from the surrounding into this place. So it was not easy for them to do so. Later on, they try as much as possible where they can negotiate with other family heads by giving them foreign commodities like wine, sugar. Some even use guns and other stuffs to motivate the family heads in order to take some of their family members from their homes to this place and then move them forward to the castles where they will be
Shipped away.
shipped to the foreign land. So from there, the captives who were from this place and were motivated from their parents, it got to some time the families were not getting their people back to the community, and that they need to chase these people not to trade in their local or their local communities. So the three slave masters were then moving ahead to sub-Saharan African countries like Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, where they could get a lot of people from there and move them into this place. This place was owned by the three slave masters, as I said. Their job was to manage this area where they gather people all around from our surroundings into this zone. They were not able to build any structure, so you see the trees all around here. They were used for holding the captives, and once the captives were held against the trees here, they were allowed to stay here overnight before the masters could gather a lot of people and bring them to this place before they were being marched out of this camp to Salaga, about 250 kilometers to Salaga, from Salaga to Asimanso, from Asimanso down to the coast, where the Europeans will buy them and take them to their countries for cheap labor. So within the camp here, they operated for about 60 good years, starting from 1704 to 1764, where the community regenerated and rebelled. They rebelled and killed all the three slave masters. Babatu was killed at Sandma, Baga was killed at Navrongo, and then Samuri was also killed at Yendi's area, and that all of them were chased out and killed. So there was no other person left here to trade, to operate the camp. So once they were here for such purpose, after they were killed, the slave trade came to
To a
an
halt.
end in this area. So within this area, we are going around to see. You will be seeing the activities, whereas how the captives were maltreated in this area. As I mentioned earlier, they did not have a place to sleep. So the trees all around were used for holding them, and that was their sleeping place. Also, they have a place that they do not allow them to go out to search for food and water. So there's a spring that gives water that anytime they need to drink, they go there to drink.
So the spring is still here?
The spring is still around. Okay. And then there's a eating place where holes were carved on the rocks for them to eat anytime food was served in those holes all around for them to eat. There's a meeting ground for them to meet anytime they finish their food and they need to discuss with them before they send them out of this place. They meet. There's a grinding stone they use to grind their foodstuffs before taking it to the holes or before cooking and serving it in the holes. There is an entertainment rock where captives were using such rock to entertain themselves per their culture in this area, and a watchtower which was established for a raider to have a clearer view of the whole place in case someone is trying to run away. Also, there is a meeting ground for those who died. They were buried in that place, and a rock for punishment. People who tried to run away were punished on that rock. So the punishment rock is just next to the cemetery. If you die on the punishment rock, they bury you in the cemetery. Okay. So in brief, this is what happened. We will go around and you have a view of the whole place. And if you have any question.